Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Now, of course, it's Wednesday, so I'll head to your gas prices in a moment. But here's some more from the budget debates with Dr. Nigel Clark opening. The government has announced an increase in the cap for companies looking to list on the junior market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE. Now, on Tuesday, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said the maximum participating voting share capital for the junior market will move to $750 million, up from $500 million.
And that cap has been in place since 2016, when it was reinstituted by this government. The imposition of this limit was consistent with the sizes of medium-sized enterprises at the time. Madam Speaker, in an effort to facilitate growth of the MSME sector, and just in keeping with the cumulative movement in the consumer price index over the 8 years between 2016 and today, we will be amending the Income Tax Act to increase the maximum participating voting share capital of companies listed on the Junior Stock Exchange from $500 million to $750 million.
Private sector players have been lobbying for an adjustment in the cap for some time. The measures are expected to take effect this calendar year. And at the close of trading today, the JSE index lost 3,918 points, while the junior market index increased by 4 points. Among the 42 winners were The Lab, Margaritaville Turks US dollar shares, 138 Student Living Jamaica, JMMB Group 5.75% FR US dollar preference shares, and JMMB Group 7.25% variable Jamaican dollar cumulative redeemable preference shares. Now the 45 losers were led by AS Bryden and Sons Holdings, Epley, Caribbean Cream, Siboney Group, and JMMB Group 7.15% cumulative redeemable preference shares. 21 stocks closed the session selling at the same price they started trading. To the gas prices, most categories of fuel will decline effective Thursday. Each liter of 87 and 90 gasoline will sell for 9 cents less. Diesel and ultra-low sulfur diesel will decline by 25 cents. Kerosene will go up by $1.23, while propane will decrease by $2.62. $2.62, while propane will go down by $2.43, while butane will decline by $2.62. Each gas station will make these adjustments to their prices, which include a markup on the ex-refinery rate offered by Petrojam. The rates are influenced by the U.S. Gulf reference price. The Income Tax Act is to be amended to have trust and corporate services providers pay income tax at a rate of 25%. Dr. Nigel Clark, Finance Minister, says there was some misalignment with the original policy and the rate these entities ought to pay.
Had that the trust and corporate service providers ought to be regulated by the Financial Services Commission. And an unintended consequence of that was that their corporate income tax rate went up from 25% to 33.33%, because under the Income Tax Act, when we went to having banks and insurance companies and financial services entities pay more, not instituted by this government, but by a previous government, the mechanism by which we captured those was to say that any entity regulated by the FSC is taxed at 33.33%. This was not the policy intent, Madam Speaker. So we intend to amend the Income Tax Act to clarify that trust and corporate services providers continue to be assessed corporate income tax at the rate of 25%.
And finally, trading ended with banks and Cambio selling the US dollar for an average $155.51. The Canadian is being sold for $115.26. The pound is trading for an average $200.33, while the euro is costing $167.63. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Regional and international news is next. Good evening.